Wholesaling real estate is by far the best way to get into real estate for little to no money. And in fact, I still wholesale a ton of deals every year when the deal doesn't fit my buy box to flip it, develop, rental, whatever it is, right? So in this video, you're going to learn how wholesaling real estate works, A to Z. And now first, let's go ahead and define what wholesaling is. So wholesaling is when you put a house under contract with the seller and then you sell that contract to an investor for a fee, aka your wholesale fee or assignment fee. Those two terms can be used interchangeably. So for example, you find a seller and put the house under contract for $300,000, and then you find an investor to purchase that property from you for $325,000. Once the investor closes on the purchase, you will receive the $25,000 difference. That's your wholesale fee. So now that we've defined wholesaling, we gave you an example. Here is the 6-step process on how it works. The first step is the most important step. It's marketing. So you need to learn how to find great deals, aka you need to market to find those great deals. Think about it. You will be selling your deals to investors who also need to make money on the deal. This means that you need to find great deals where you and the investor can make money. You need to create that win-win situation, and you will forever have repeat buyers to sell deals to, because everyone at all times is always hungry for extra deals. Now, you can find these great deals two ways. The first is on market and the second is off market. Let's go ahead and explain a little bit what those means. So on market deals are the deals everyone sees, right? These are the properties posted on websites like Zillow, Realtor, the Redfin.coms of the world, right? And contrary to what people think, you can still find great deals on the market. I buy deals all the time off of the MLS. The MLS is essentially an extension of... I'm rambling. Okay, let me go to MLS real quick. The MLS is called the Multiple Listing Service. That's what realtors and brokers use to post their deals. But then these deals filter into the websites like Zillow, Realtor, and Redfin. You can think of those as MLS extension websites. So... side tangent, sorry about that. So I buy deals off of like Zillow, Realtor, Redfin, the MLS all the time. And in fact, my latest acquisition off of the MLS was a $3.1 million purchase. We're planning to put about $1 million into it to renovate it. And then ARV is around $7 million. Count that spread yourself. There's still great deals. In fact, the last 3 multi-million dollar flips we've acquired were from Zillow. Absolutely crazy. There's still deals out there. So now let's talk about off-market deals now that we've covered on-market. Off-market is where the juiciest deals are found by far. Off-market deals never hit websites like Zillow, Realtor, or Redfin. And the crazy part about off-market deals are it's kind of like an iceberg. You can only see 20% of the iceberg size above water, but beneath that water is 80% of the total iceberg's mass. This is exactly like real estate deals. 20% of deals are done on market and the remaining 80% is done off market. You're literally never going to see these deals hit the market. Now, there are a ton of strategies to do off market deals, but they fall into 4 different buckets. I bought deals from every single one of these buckets, so I know they work. The first bucket is through social media. The second bucket is through realtors and brokers. The third bucket is through wholesalers, and the fourth bucket is through direct to seller. Now, if you want a full breakdown on how to find all of the off-market deals and all of the marketing channels, you can go ahead and check out my other YouTube video titled How to Find Deeply Discounted Real Estate Deals. This is not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to give you a wholesaling 101 perspective of the flow of wholesaling. So that was step number 1, marketing. Excuse me. Second step is evaluating deals. You need to get absurdly good at knowing what properties after repair values are, as well as approximate renovation costs. So an after repair value is just that. It's the value of a property once repairs have been done, right? And you're also going to need to know some rough renovation costs. Now, you can get good at this by practicing comping properties on Zillow or all of those other websites I mentioned before. And if you want a full breakdown of how to analyze deals, check out my YouTube video titled Understanding Property Valuation. In that video, I just pick a property at random, kind of look like a fixer. I comped it out using recently sold properties that you can find on Zillow. And then I went through all of the pictures on this deal, just kind of verbally saying what needed to be renovated based on those pictures and my experience. Cool. Step number 3 is negotiation. Once you get the list and find a seller that's willing to sell to you, you want to come from a place of genuinely helping the seller so you can find out what their needs are and help them fulfill those needs. If you cannot do that, then it is not a deal. I have a wholesale deal actually right now that we had to cancel escrow. This gentleman came into our office. He said, hey, I have this property in Santa Barbara. I'm X amount of months back on my mortgage and they're going to foreclose on me. Had too much coffee today. I keep coughing. So basically, we were going to do the wholesale deal with him. And then lo and behold, like a week and a half later, we're already shopping for buyers. We had property people walking the deal and everything. And the guy's like, you know what? Listen up. I really feel like I can do this myself. I'm going to try and make up my payments. And we were in a legally binding contractual agreement, right? But we could not genuinely help him anymore for what his needs are. So we just canceled escrow. You need to do that sometimes because you need to lead with integrity, right? So in order to qualify a seller, you need to qualify them through 4 pillars. The first pillar is condition, and then it's timeline to sell, then it's motivation, and then finally it's price is the 4th. You can qualify the seller by asking questions based on each of these 4 pillars. Again, condition of the home, timeline to sell, their motivation, and the price. I would argue that the motivation is by far the most important because you need to dig super deep, because remember, these people very likely do not know you on a personal level, so why would they share their personal life, right? But if you dig deeper and let's say you find out that this gentleman's getting a divorce and they need to split all their assets and sell it, well, that's a really strong motivational indicator that says that, hey, I might be able to get this deal and at a discount because I'm giving them ease of use for whatever difficulties they want to avoid, right? So after you successfully negotiated the deal and you've agreed on price and terms with the seller, it's time for part 4, which is the contract. Now in wholesaling, you're going to need 2 documents. One is the purchase and sale agreement, and the other is the assignment agreement. You will sign the purchase and sale agreement with the seller, and then you will sign the assignment agreement between you and the end buyer, right? You're the middleman. Once you have those documents signed, you will need to submit them to an escrow company to facilitate and process the transaction so that the seller can sell their property, you can collect your wholesale fee, and the buyer can purchase their new property. Okay, you've signed the first document with the seller, the purchase and sale agreement. Now you need to find an investor to purchase the contract off of you. There are a bunch of ways to find buyers for your deals, and here are a few. Number 1 is that you can pull a cash buyer's list off a list provider website like listsource.com. That's LIST, listsource.com, or batchleads.com. There's a bunch of other websites, but that's not the purpose of this video. So another way is to attend real estate meetup events and find investors in your area, because I'm telling you, if you have a good deal, you're going to have a line of people waiting to buy that from you. And now if you have a good deal, again, I just need to reiterate, I cannot tell you it should not be difficult to find a buyer if you have a good deal. If you do not have a good deal, you will very likely not be able to sell it because no one's going to buy it off you, right? So after an end buyer has been found and you've signed the assignment agreement with them, you will need to move on to step 6. Step 6 is facilitating the escrow process between the seller and the end buyer. Just make sure you communicate clearly between all parties to ensure deadlines and everyone's needs are being met. Remember, as a wholesaler, you are in charge of facilitating the transaction between the seller and the end buyer, okay? You need to be on both of those parties like white on rice, and you need to ensure that the buyer is adhering to all of the deadlines like the earnest money deposit deadline, contingency deadlines, if any, and you name it, right? And you need to make sure the seller is moving out if that was agreed upon. ensuring that they're getting their documents signed, all of that stuff, right? Now, let's assume that you've facilitated the transaction, everything's good to go. The buyer, once they close on the property, you get paid your wholesale fee through escrow, or sometimes it'll be handled outside of escrow to make things a little cleaner and easier, where the buyer will just cut you a check and send it to your address. So that's pretty much it. That's wholesaling 101. That's the flow of how to do a wholesale deal. Again, on my YouTube channel, there's a bunch of more in-depth analyses of deal evaluation, how to find off-market deals, things like that. But the purpose of this video was to just help you think through the wholesale process. Now, I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please go ahead and like this video, as well as share with someone who might find value in it as well. I'll talk to you soon.